Postbank has named a new CEO in the form of Nikki Ntomboxolo Mbengashe and other new executives. The board is hoping that this will help the post office transition after being placed under business rescue. Let's speak now to Thabile Wonci, who is the chairperson of the Postbank board. Thabile, good evening to you. Thanks for your time. So let's talk then about this new appointment of the CEO. Why Nikki in particular for this position?
Good afternoon to you, Kathy, and to your viewers at home. Look, Kathy, looking at Nikki's profile, she's got depth, the relevant experience that the bank is looking for at the present moment. She carries with her plus over 20 years of senior and executive level experience, and she's been, exposed and worked within banking as well as within financial services. So looking at where we are, the vision that we're driving, the corporate plan that we're driving, and the opportunities that are out there for the Postbank, we sincerely believe that Nikki carries the talent, the skills, and the experience to take us to where we should be going as the bank.
Let's,
of course,
sure, go ahead.
I was going to say, Katie, that of course she won't be doing this alone, but with the depth that we have equally brought, together with her into the business. We have listed the positions, on the announcement that we've made to the market. So we're looking forward, Kathy, to really what lies ahead for the bank.
Let's talk about then this future that you envision for Postbank. What is it? And also, of course, issues around the full registration of Postbank to deliver services as a fully fledged bank.
The future, Kathy, sits really on driving on the main financial inclusion. What we mean by that is to serve as the vehicle for the unbanked and the underbanked to play a formidable role within the financial services system. Presently that the banking sector remains largely exclusionary, by design. And Postbank really has been, at the driving force in making sure that the poor, the bottom of the pyramid, do play a significant role, within the system. And of course, we've got vehicles and systems to make sure that our beneficiaries, our clients, do transact and interact with the financial system or the banking system in a safe and secure and, most importantly, efficient manner. That's number one. And number two, of course, on product design, that will speak to the fundamentals that you see. Look at the small businesses in general, they are constrained as far as access to capital is concerned. And we're saying as part of our product design, we should extend to lending, as, a product or a venture that we've got to look at so as to open up the space, more especially on capital, and another most important thing, of course, is within the savings and investment, layer. We've done significant work on savings. We have designed the savings, culture in the country. The Postbank has been doing savings for plus 100 years, so we know exactly, what needs to be done and which buttons to press. So that's really on the main, Kathy. We want to be the bank of the people. We want to take the bank back into the hearts and minds of every South African. You will recall, Kathy, growing up, we used to have a savings book, which was, part of, one of our products. And that's really what we are building on from this point onwards.
Let's talk about how you are affected by the current dysfunction at the post office, because some of the services that you offer, of course, are very interlinked to where the post office would also normally have its branches stationed.
So, Kathy, one of the things that perhaps we're not engaging the market on is the fact that we deliver our products and services via the post offices, number one, and number two, via the retailers. So those are the two channels presently that we have. Of course, the impact, at the post office is not as significant purely because there are other existing channels presently. But suffice to say that our beneficiaries, or the beneficiaries that we pay via our channels, as well as the banking clients, our clients still do interact with us via the alternate channels. So it's something, of course, that we're keeping an eye on, and presently we haven't seen much significance, into our operations.
Of course, one of the realities that we're looking at here, Thabile, is that you would have areas in this country that have much easier access to a post office than they would to a retailer.
That's correct, Kathy. Hence, I'm saying that looking at our numbers in terms of our reach presently, the impact is not that severe. There's no red event at the present moment, and the operations of the bank are going on as business as usual. And most importantly, the beneficiaries are still having access into their grants. We are still, as the bank, able to interact and reach our banking clients. So the most important thing, I suppose, is to watch, obviously, what's going to come out of that process. But for now, as the bank, we are saying that let's build our ecosystem so that we can be able to reach every banking client that we have throughout the country. We can be able to pay every SASSA beneficiary that we have to pay, and that in the past few months we have been able to do that with success.
What kind of relationship do you foresee, again, in the future of Postbank with the post office?
So, Kathy, by design, you would have seen that banks do distribute their products and services via different channels. Number one, what's so important for us as the business is to say that we are bringing other channels for our beneficiaries as well as banking clients to interact with us and the financial system. We have started doing that on the cardless solution. That's one. Number two, we are looking at other channels such as the internet banking as well as the cell phone banking. You tap and goes, your phone, your watch when you get to the retailer, right? So those are some of the innovative ideas that we're busy working on now. And by design, of course, we have been distributing via the post office, which is something that's not going to stop. And of course, other products we do deliver via the retailers, which of course that is not going to stop. So I'm wishing to extend a message that says that as the bank, we are somehow in tune as to where the landscape is going, and of course plans are afoot to make sure that Postbank is able to deliver and quite aggressively its products.
It sounds to me, Thabile, that you are wanting to sort of ease the reliance that you would traditionally have had when it comes to distributions via the post office.
So the status that I'm explaining, Kathy, is exactly what we've had for the past many years. Our distribution has always been I don't have the exact numbers. We've always distributed via the post offices. We've always distributed via the retailers. So I'm saying that is not going to change. Of course, as the bank, we are challenged in line with how the landscape is going to distribute our products in a cost-effective manner, in a, most importantly, efficient manner, as well as in a secured manner, and that's not going to stop. So we will continue using the post offices. We will continue using the retailers whilst we're looking at other channels where the bank can be able to get the necessary efficiencies that it seeks to see in our quest, of course, to build our balance sheet. In our quest, of course, to build our financial or to grow our financial performance.
So to the extent that the post office then is inefficient, do you potentially see that relationship coming to an end? Of course, depending on how things fare, including with the current business rescue process.
Kathy, you need to appreciate one fact, that structurally the two entities have existed together for plus 100 years. Structurally, the Postbank has delivered its services and products via the post office for plus 100 years. So that's not a relationship that you can, cut on one day or in one day. That's not going to happen. Hence, I'm saying that structurally, that can never happen. Let's appreciate that. That's why then the bank is challenged to look at other opportunities to deliver its products and services, including, of course, the post office channel.
All right.
Whether, Kathy, the reality that we have presently is the fact that the SAPO infrastructure, is quite, vast. There's almost a post office in each and every postal address. That's the infrastructure that we need. We need to make sure that the post office gets it right, because it's so key for our delivery, right? So whilst we are exploring other channels, whilst we've been looking at other channels, the post office remains integral in our service delivery.
All right. We'll leave it there for today. Thanks for your time. Chairperson of the Postbank board.